I've been in real estate since 2018. A little background, just I bought my first house, and I remember after graduating, I was at a space that I felt didn't allow me to really thrive. And you'll probably pick up from my personality. I'm a little spark flame, and so sometimes I want to spark over here and do a little something, spark over there and do a little something. And they were like, "No, ma'am, we hired you to be right here in this seat. I want you to sit still." And I didn't love that about that job in particular. And so I reached out to my real estate agent on a whim and was like, "Do you do this like full time? Can you show me the ropes? I would love to dive in because I really enjoyed the process." And she coached me to get my license, and I quit my job and never looked back. So since then, like he said, I've sold almost 60 million plus. Actually, yeah, I got a closing, two more closings this month. So it'll be over 60, probably 61 now. Over 170 clients through my master classes one-on-one. So the things that I share, I'm very passionate about because I've been in the seat of how do I start? How do I get business? How do I follow up and not miss the things? And we're going to talk about those things today and even do a little workshop. If you are not driving, please drop a fun fact in the chat so I can read it later. I'm big on getting to know people. A fun fact about me you may not have guessed or know is that I used to rap back in the day, and my rap name was Chameleon. So I've always been like a people person. And yeah, a lot of people are like, "What? You used to rap?" Yeah, I did. I did. So anywho, let's dive on in. First things first, I like to start all of my stuff off with is talking about mistakes that I see agents make because I was literally in this same boat. And the first thing is no system. There's one thing to lead generate, but when the leads start coming in, what are you doing? So we're going to flip the script today and talk about the system part first and then the social part second. When you think about your systems, it's really your framework or your method. So some of the things that I used to ask myself is, when a new lead comes to me, what am I doing? Do I have an intake form? Do I put them in my CRM? Do I have a freebie for them? Do I have a next steps email? How are you getting that client's information in your database and continuing to keep them on your radar and you on their radar? Do you have a checklist to know the things that you are doing to get them from a lead converted to a client? And are you missing out on converting other leads because you're so focused on other things you're forgetting to follow up? These are real things, and it's really, really important to do the follow-up piece. I used to miss out on so many leads because as a new agent, I was focused on, hey, I got this one lead and I'm about to get them to the closing table. And like Ron said, without that consistent lead generation and follow-up, there is no consistent income and flow of your finances. So keep that in mind and think about how you can start incorporating little systems and things in your day-to-day business to make sure you're not missing this stuff. The second part is your step-to-step process. I think my business really catapulted when I started delegating things and hiring a VA. And I remember one of the struggles was having to explain my systems that I did not have set up, my standard operations of procedures that I did not have set up to my VA. And unfortunately, I didn't. So you want to start asking yourself, what are the steps that you're taking to onboard your clients? When you're ready to expand, when you are starting to get more leads and you have more than 2 and 10 and 20 to manage, is everybody getting the same process and the same system and the same service from you? And if you hired someone today to help you, could you hand them something on a silver platter to say, hey, I need you to do steps 1 through 5 for me, and then DM me or text me or tag me back in for steps 6, 7, and 8. So I really want y'all to think about those things as well, because there's always going to be a time where we do need to take a break, replenish, take a vacation, even just life happens. You guys may not know, my son had open heart surgery when he was 3 weeks old, and I was in the NICU for over a month with my son, still trying to manage my real estate business. And luckily, because of my systems and processes, I was able to pass that off to other agents that I had coached and other team members to tag in. And number 3 ties right back into what I was just talking about, delegation, but also automation. I don't know if y'all experienced this, but when it was hot and crazy, I was doing like literally 100 consultations a month, primarily with a lot of buyers. And at that time, I was on the road and I was pregnant with my daughter during COVID time. And I remember being on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, like walking in appointments, trying to show a house, trying to call an agent. I could not communicate with all the leads and all the clients at the same time because I'm one person. So I started implementing automations because I was feeling super stressed out. Sorry, Kelly.
Kelly, you got thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly. So I started feeling overworked and burnt out instead of like excited about the overflow of business. And that's when I realized I got to start automating some of this stuff. I got to start making sure that when people reach out, they get that next steps email first. They get a reminder on their calendar and my calendar for us to chit chat. They're added to my CRM automatically, to my newsletter list automatically, so that I'm not having to keep everything up here. So those are some of the things that I struggled with. If you struggle with any of these, drop it in the chat. I would love to hear y'all's stories or some things that you may have been working on that have not always come to fruition. And now we're going to dive into how you can switch that. Basically, it's three things: systems in order first, processes next, automate, and delegate. Here are the ultimate must-haves for your system side. And if you do not have this, take a little note. I know y'all are recording this, but write these things down because they have changed my life. Number one is your business suite or business email. This may sound simple and like you already know this, but you want something where it is truly a professional email. And I don't mean just your name and then the business. I mean like an info at your business name, a hello at your team name. Because what I realized is you have to create boundaries also within your business. And that means you're not going to always be accessible, but having a team email that you can utilize later, you will be able to then go back to that, answer through those emails, and your clients are still feeling connected to you without feeling 100% connected to you. When I switched that email, that hello at the MWM team versus Maeghan, it allowed me to create boundaries on my phone, on my DMs, and all of that because I sent them to my hotline email. The second thing is start outlining your steps. So if you are working on things today and tomorrow, just start documenting some of the things you're doing so that you can go back in and later figure out how to automate them. Third is ClickUp. If you are not using ClickUp or a project management tool right now already, I really want y'all to dive into this. This was the thing that allowed me to see my leads in the process of new lead, under contract, hot, pre-listing, active listing. It lets me do everything and then integrate the automations into that. Number 4 is Google Forms. I cannot preach enough about Google Forms. This is how I trigger all my automations, by allowing my clients to be the Kickstarter. Gone are the days where I'm having to do everything. I'm really putting it on them to make sure they focus and fill out their information, which will then initiate the triggers. And I can show y'all how to do that later today if you're interested. But basically, it's a quick name, number, and email, a few questions about what they're looking for or what they're wanting to sell, about the potential listing. And then it integrates into Zapier, which is my automation tool that then sets everything off. The automatic emails, the calendar reminders, the adding them to the CRM, and the, of course, adding them to the newsletter campaign. If you don't have a monthly newsletter, I highly recommend you do that as well. I have gotten so many conversions from people that are just on my email list. And if Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever was to ever shut down, you got to be able to access these people on and off social media. And that's a big game changer. Any questions so far before we get into the mini workshop and I put y'all to work with me? Everybody good? I know that was a lot.
Hey, I got a question. I got a question for you. And guys, do me a favor. If you have questions, put it in the chat so that I can ask Maeghan, so we don't have everybody jumping on phone. And then so keep your phones muted and put in the shot because we are recording this. But Maeghan, you mentioned a tool, a tech tool called ClickUp. What made you choose that? Was that the only one, or were you searching and then you narrowed 3 down to 1? Could you tell us that process and why you chose that one?
Absolutely. So at first I was using KV Core through my brokerage, but I noticed it only had a few statuses for particular leads, like either your sphere, your agent, vendor, whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to always do the hashtag. So I remember taking a course from one of my friends in college, and she is a operations manager for Aldi, I think at the time is what she was doing. And she introduced me to ClickUp. She had talked to me about Trello and Asana. I tried those. They were not user friendly to me. I need stuff to be simple and basic. That's just me. Like, I feel like the simple thing is going to do it for me every time. It don't have to be extravagant as long as it works. And so ClickUp was the one that I felt like, okay, I got the hang of this. I can customize this. I can customize that. I can do this on my phone. And it really worked. So I had tried Trello and Asana, but I fell in love with ClickUp and how it integrated into all of my businesses, not just real estate.
All right. And my other question is, and again, you mentioned something that is like taboo to us as we're starting out in business, and that is writing down the steps. You said
Mm-hmm.
that at least what are the first 5 steps? I think we know them in our head, but you're absolutely right. Like we don't write them down. And if something happened, you're trying to explain things. And that's why you don't let things go because you haven't written them down. So that's a big
Right.
thing about delegation. Could you share with us like 1 or 2 of your steps once a client comes into your
Yeah.
sphere?
Absolutely. So actually, I'm going to show you one today, but to kind of tell you how it works in operation mode is I have what's called an intake form. And so I
Mm.
have one for buyers and I have one for sellers. I also have one for my renters and investors. But say a new lead comes in and they DM
Mhm.
you or they call you or they text you, the first thing they're going to be doing is filling out that form. I don't care if they're a new client, past client, referral client. Everybody has to fill this form out because that's how I am able to then integrate the automation and have the
Mm.
flow systems get to going. Like that, filling out that form is the trigger. Once they fill out the form, the next step, which I was doing manually, was sending them an email saying, thank you for filling out your form. Like, here's the link to book a call, and here's the link to view my free home buying course or my home selling course. That's step 2, basically communication and letting them know what's next. But I've automated that. The third step is actually doing the consultation and ensuring they've taken the course, because I used to have consultations that were an hour long. I was the one on the phone, like, ask me all your questions. What are you looking for? Let's talk it through. Now I'm like, no, go watch my course. That's 20 minutes that walks you through the home selling or home buying process. Let's get the taboo stuff out of the way. Let's get the lingo, the jargon introduced to you. And let's focus for 15 minutes about how I can now really help you and get you to the next step. So the third is the consultation piece. After that, I write handwritten notes to say, thank you for chatting with me. I really enjoyed our conversation. You know, I look forward to potentially working with you in the future. And I give like 3 business cards in that and mail it to them. And then number
Mhm.
5, it's automatic now, but a calendar reminder comes up on my calendar every week to follow up with that person until I delete the calendar event off my calendar.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Now talk about delegation and automation. I think you have that down pat. And that's really simple. And again, that's in our head. But I think that we fill our day with thinking about the next process. So we have less time to generate more leads.
Exactly. We don't eat the
So,
frog when we
right.
need to.
Right, right, right. So awesome. I hope you guys are getting some stuff out of here. And again, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat.
Yeah.
And so I think Naisha, so if this is on your account and someone and they're in the office, you could just put it in the chat and I'll ask Megan later. All right, Megan, back to you.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. If y'all have questions, bless you, or I'm going too fast and I can be a fast talker. Just let me know. This is a quick mini workshop that I like to kind of take people through. We don't have to do the whole thing, but I will show it to you. And if you guys want me to dive into it a little more, just say the word, happy to do it. But I tell people all the time, like, consultations are great, text messages are great, but you have to stand out. You have to have personalized follow-up that sounds like you. And one thing that I noticed before with some of my emails, and newsletter lists is they were going to spam. That don't mean that that's helping me. If it's going to spam, that's not where I want it to go. So I'd like to remind people, when you are thinking about your lead gen and you're thinking about the tactics to roll your clients in and automate things, you also have to make sure you're doing the right automations. So when you use Google Forms and you have an intake form and you set up a Zap to send an automatic email, that is just a chef's kiss because it's coming from your actual email, which is less likely to go to spam. And you can then set up other Zaps to integrate that lead into your CRM and integrate that lead into following up. So just make sure you are checking out some of these tools. And I can send Ron a couple of my intake form templates to share with you guys so you can see kind of like what I'm asking my buyers, what I'm asking my sellers, and utilize that for the free. Okay. So Ron, it's on you today. You've gotten them covered for that. I will send those templates.
You got it.
And if y'all have any questions about automations, you can always let me know. So here are the little steps. You can follow along, but I'm literally going to show you what this looks like and how it works so that you can watch it back later. First things first, we are going to create a Google form. So I'm going to X out of my beautiful little presentation, and I'm going to show you what the Google form looks like. And then you will be able to kind of see. Let me get to my questionnaire form and make sure I'm not showing y'all anybody's, what I like to call confidential information. And then we will get this rolling.
Shay, thank you, Shay.
I was about to say, is that me? Okay, let's see. All right, questionnaire link. So I have a few of them. I'll show y'all the buyer and the seller. Can y'all still see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is my buyer initial contact form. Listen, I know this thing is a little lengthy. You do not have to have yours as long as mine, but I have you know, when I was out here in these real estate streets, bumping around with my babies, I was pregnant back to back, I didn't have time to sit and talk and ask all these questions over the phone. So I put it in the form, and I felt like if they're going to answer this, they're also really serious about potentially starting their real estate journey. So I will send this to Ron. I'm not going to read everything, but it's a little lengthy form. I break things up on purpose because when things are automatic and automated, you can then go in and personalize the email. So it's still going to feel kind of like you're doing it individually. So it'll say like, hey, Ron, instead of full name, and it be saying, hey, Ron Anderson or whatever. So make sure that if you copy this template and you have questions, let me know. But I've arranged it this particular way because of how KV Core was set up, where all of these notes are then also integrated and automatically put into their CRM note, and I pin it to the top. So that's another thing you can do with Google Forms. Does everybody know how to get into Google Forms and make one? If you don't, I can walk you through it, but I just wanted y'all to see how this works. Yes, no,
Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah, we can. You know what? I know because we only have you for a few minutes, but again, we all know we have a friend called Google and YouTube. So,
Sure do.
guys, if you don't know how to, if you don't know how to do that, but again, you have the concept, so you can
Absolutely.
go on YouTube and get that done.
Perfect. All right. So guys, do that. And then, like I said, I'll send the template to Ron. And if y'all have questions later, you can ask me. Once you have your form and you do that, make sure you fill it out like a test client. Because when you start running things into your automations, it won't pull anything unless you have that. So you'll do that. You can also link those responses to an Excel sheet. And then, of course, you can make it shorter using Bitly. And now we want to talk about how you are going to get people to fill this form out. For me, my buckets have been social media, creating content that converts. I really got a big start in taking on rentals from actual agents that did not necessarily want those leads. So I did a lot of agent referrals in the beginning, and then also open houses. I was literally doing them 2 to 3 times a weekend. I would have 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Friday, and sometimes 2 on Sunday. But when social media started booming, honey, I threw the deuces up to them open houses. I threw the deuces up to them agent referrals, and I just like took off full steam with Instagram. The reason I love me some Instagram is because they are not necessarily cold leads. They are warm leads. They've already warmed up to you, your personality. They've invested in who you are and what you do because they hit that follow button. Now your job is to throw that net, throw that reel out there and just reel them on in, baby. That's all you got to do. You just got to reel them in. If they pull the other way, you just got to snatch them on back every once in a while. And I'm going to show you how you do that. All right. So if you have not already seen my Instagram, it is on here at Maximize with Maeghan. That's my business one. And then Maeghan Jones. But these are the 3 things I've done to grow all of my pages. And let me say grow. When I say grow, I mean make business from them. You will see that one of my pages has about 34,000 followers. One of them has about 18,000, but my business ones have about 200 and 800. But all of them have brought me business because I do these same 3 things. Number 1, you're going to share your story. And when I capitalize your, I mean authentic to you. When I first got my license, I literally started documenting on social media, me getting my pre-licensing course, me signing up to join a 30-day team, me previewing property, me, ordering my quote unquote new business cards, me picking up my for sale sign. I don't care what it is you're doing. If it got some real estate in it, you need to share it and integrate it within your story. I also would do what I like to call quote unquote story times that talk to them about these projects or these clients I was working with. So for example, I never forget, my first real lead was a lady I met at my old job. So I went on Instagram and I was like, okay, y'all, it's happening. It's my first real lead. I'm going to take y'all through the process for this lead. People started to then follow through with me and this client and were so excited when they closed. As soon as I closed that first deal, my DMs were flooded. Megan, we've been following you for a while. We saw what you did with the Turner family. We're ready to get started. How do we do this? All because I authentically and openly shared the ups and downs of the process with that client. They were able to see it from a point of view of not me saying, buy and sell with me, but let me show you how hard I'm going for this client. Let me show you how much I'm doing in my real estate business and how much I would do for you. So that is number 1. As I shared the story, it then started.
Can I ask a question, Megan? So
Yes.
let me just ask you. So basically, you didn't show up at the closing table with red pumps with the big sign going like this all the time.
No,
You didn't do that and thinking that that was going to draw business. Like
no.
you took, so someone was watching your story. Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
magic word is story. It's not like at the
Mm-hmm.
end where you're just
No.
showing the picture at
Mm-mm.
the end.
They could care less about that. They actually didn't even like that more. They like that less than the story because it's really about the journey than the destination and the goal. If y'all could see me right now, I don't know if I could do it. If y'all see my Instagram, y'all know I can do some high leg kicks, but I have on sandals. I ain't gonna do a high leg kick. We professional right here. This is what I have on today. And I have on some high-waisted jeans and a crop top. And I have this meeting and 2 other coaching clients and a real estate client to take out today. And I'm documenting the story on Instagram. I already woke up this morning like, hey, y'all, I'm doing a webinar. Make sure y'all tap in later, blase, blase, blase. And so they are interested in knowing what I'm doing and how they then can work with me. I do have a soul sign too, though, because you do want your, you want your
Well, no,
chicken.
I'm saying, I think people, they see that as the end result. And I
Yes.
think, and what you're saying is that they're not invested in the story because
Mm-hmm.
you just have the ending of the movie. You don't have like, hey, what's Megan
Exactly.
doing today? Like with this particular
Yep.
client, how do we get to there? So I love that.
Yep.
Share your story.
Thank you. Yeah, and you want to be authentic. So I also let them in on the good, the bad, and the ugly. So every Sunday I have a newsletter called Spilling the Tea. So my insiders get the information first and then Instagram gets it. Because again, my goal is to make sure I have their info. They can follow me on Instagram all day long, but I need your email and your number so that I can feel like we're personally connected. And I shared with them, one of my clients were under contract twice. The seller did not want to close. We did not close. And on the day of closing, he was like, I'm not selling. I shared this with them and they're like, oh my God, Megan, what's going on with your buyers? Did they get a house? What are y'all looking at now? They get invested. And then that literally allows me to do the second step, spark conversations. Sparking conversations is what's then going to help you convert and sell the solution. Sparking conversations can look like somebody DMing you what area you were in, somebody asking you, hey, do you have any new construction you're looking at? Somebody just worried about the client story that you're sharing. Sparking the conversation is where you build that relationship because people are going to buy and sell regardless. What's going to make them think of you? And I've noticed my conversion is so much easier because they feel connected to me. It's about the relationship. They've seen other people that have more followers than me, may do more deals than me, may look, better than me. But when you this confident, child, it's hard to think. Anyway, my point is, it is a lot of things that could draw them elsewhere. But what brings them back to want to move with Maeghan is the fact that I'm authentic with sharing my story and that I spark conversations with them. And then I sell the solution. And the solution is they are either moving with Maeghan, they are either marketing with Maeghan, they are either doing master classes with Maeghan, or they are doing coaching with Maeghan. Whatever they're doing, I have become the solution, and I create it for my particular ideal client for whatever business I'm focused on that week. So those are the 3 steps. Any questions before I show you some examples and tell you some things you can start doing today for your social media?
So Maeghan, why do you think, so again, there's so many different lead generation sources or activities that they can do, literally over 100 things that people do.
Yep.
It seems like most agents choose this as one of their lead sources, which I get it, right? But again, you're really consistent with yours. So it's not like once you start, I heard that you can't stop, because if somebody doesn't see your story in 3 or 4 months, it's like, what's she doing?
What's she doing?
Right?
Boy, Ron, you just pivoted me right where I needed to go to robot me into the next step. Let me tell you exactly why people pick Instagram and exactly why it don't work for them. Number one, they pick Instagram because they think social media is easy. When we think social media, we think, oh, I just got to post. I just got to this. I just got to that. And that is a big fat NO. This is a full-time job. When you find your happy lane, whatever your bucket is, because everybody's may not be Instagram, you got to go full throttle. You got to dive in. You got to grab it by a chokehold, and you have to be the master of that lead generation bucket. Hence me saying, I'm saying Instagram. I don't go as hard on LinkedIn. I don't go as hard on TikTok. I don't go as hard as Facebook. Do they get a little dibble dabble of stuff? Absolutely. But my focus is Instagram because that's what works for me. And I literally work it like a job. So some of the things that I do where it literally, I take an hour, I call it a power hour. I'm DMing every single follower. If you have not done this, you need to, whatever your social media platform is, LinkedIn, Facebook, DM them folks. You got to start looking at this as your database, not social media where you're just posting to get likes and get comments. Who cares about that? Is that bringing your coin in? Absolutely not, unless you have a paid partnership, which you can do as you start growing your following. Because as real estate grew, as my following grew, now I work with different companies and different brands where they do pay me to post and pay me for my likes and pay me for my views. It's another great source of income. But in the beginning, for the business, those likes are not what gets you to the closing table. It's the conversion of that client or that potential lead that gets you there. So I literally took time and I went through all my followers on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram, and I DM'd everybody. And I don't mean just a little, hey, how you doing message. I pulled out my phone, I shot a video. Hey, Ron, I am so glad you're connected with me. I love social media and I cannot wait to share some of my real estate tips and tricks with you, my day in the life, and so much more. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Send. Maeghan, you did that for everybody? I'm not here to give you no easy game plan. I'm here to tell you what works and that you're going to have to work it. I messaged every single person. I went through my physical contacts because I have 2 phones. Look at my babies. I have 2 phones. So my personal phone and my work phone, I went through every contact and sent them either a voice audio or a video, letting them know that I had quit my job and transitioned into real estate. And I told them, hey, it's not me saying, hey, can you send me a referral? Can you buy and sell with me? It was, I plan to help 12 families buy this year, and I'm going to keep you invested on the process. Right now, I have 10 consultations set up. And before I do that, I was wondering, can I do a fake consultation with you? I started testing out my clients. They didn't even know. It was kind of manipulation in the best way possible. But I was telling them like, hey, I'm about to prep for this client. I want you to look at my presentation. Tell me what you think. So now they're like, well, dang, Maeghan's serious. Well, this presentation is good. Oh, I think I know somebody that actually might need this. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you sure do. Send them my way. So that's how I started integrating my family and friends into helping me, but then taking the action behind that and making sure I'm contacting everyone. People don't know what you don't know. And so if you don't share it, how are they supposed to help you? So that was one thing. And when you send those messages, if you have a quick link, a website or whatever, send that with them. That wasn't me saying, here, book a consultation. That was, here's all my stuff. If they choose to browse, which 90% of them will, if they followed you, they're already interested in you, they're going to click that link. They're going to try to figure out what you got going on, and they're going to see, oh, free consultation. Oh, free home buying guide. Oh, whatever else you have in your link or your quick links. So that's one thing that I did, and you can start doing and block it out. 30 minutes a day.
How many people do you think the average 30-year-old have in their phone? How many contacts?
God, at least 500.
A minimum, right?
At least.
So basically that's like you said, that's a job. And so sometimes I talk to a lot of agents who've been in the business 3 or 4 years, and like, how many people have you contacted in your phone? And most people are afraid to contact them in the phone. And again, that's just a mental block that we gotta work. Yeah.
And that's what I say with social media. When I started looking at it as more of a database than, oh my God, nobody liked my picture, nobody liked my post in the beginning, it was like, oh, okay, y'all ain't gotta like it. Y'all ain't gotta like it. We just trying to get to the closing table. I don't care if you like it or not. Forget the likes. Let me talk to you. Let me book a consultation. Yeah. Let me see what you got going on. Matter of fact, let me go spam your account, like all your stuff, and see what you got going on. So now I can send a more personalized message. I can say, oh my goodness, I saw your baby just graduated. How are you feeling? I know you got all the, whatever is conducive to what they're going through. So send your message. Let me get through the other 3 because I can't be long-winded. So the second thing I started to do was go live every week, and I called it Friday Night Live. And I literally would just answer any questions people sent me the day before. So you'll just go to your story, put a question poll and say, drop your questions. I'm going live tomorrow to answer them. In the beginning, nobody was dropping me no questions. So you know what I did? I dropped my own questions that they should have been asking me. I would say, what's my credit score need to be? What do I do if I need to? Well, I'm so glad you asked, invisible person number 1. Let me tell you. So I would get on live and I would answer these questions, and I would save the live so people could go back and look at what I answered. In the caption, I would say, here are the questions I answered today. Hope you enjoyed this live. I would get so many messages after saying, oh my God, I had the same question, or wow, I'm so glad you shared that. How do I book a free call? But them seeing me allows them to connect a little more. It's not curated, it's live. There's no presentation for a reel or a picture perfect photo. It's real raw Maeghan answering real questions. And then they slowly started to really drop in questions. Anybody that dropped in a question, they had to fill out the question form. You know what the question form does? It gets their email. So then I sent them a personalized video saying, thank you for asking your question. I know sometimes asking for help can be the hardest thing, but you did it. Let me get back to you on this answer. I don't always know, but let me get with my team to let them know that I don't know it all. I have a team and I'm researching stuff for you. Sometimes I knew the answer, but when they see you go the extra mile to work for them first, they're like, wow. And then I make sure I get back to them with an answer. Okay. Also in the live, I would throw in a few personal updates. A lot of this journey, they saw me, pregnant with one, well, really was engaged, got our first house, pregnant with one, pregnant with the second. So I always sprinkled in that personal stuff so they knew that I was a real person and that this is not just business. This is me being me. Number 3, staying top of mind with IG stories. Updating people on your day-to-day. I don't care if one person looks at it or 3 people look at it or 5,000 people look at it. It's great to then go back and look at where you started and then later on do a different type of content post to say, y'all remember when I was out here showing this house and showing that house? You can use it for content later. And you can do quizzes and polls, and y'all can check out my stories and see examples of that too. And then finally, this one was, oh my gosh, everybody loved this. I feel like they started locking into my content like Netflix because everybody was waiting on my weekly series. Have a weekly series, and mine was Take a Tour Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I would go and I would film a house and do some type of mini tour. I would get permission from the agent. I got so good, agents started paying me to do content for their listings and paying me to come do their open houses. But I would showcase their house And I would say, guess the list price and DM me what you think the price is. Because Instagram likes when they see, you know, conversions of people contacting you, engaging in your content. Whoever was closest to that list price got a $5 gift card to Starbucks. And they also got added to my CRM because now I'm emailing you this gift card. And then I bumped it up to $10. And I said, I ain't doing no more than $10 because you start doing 4 tours a week. That's $40. And at the time I was broke as Cooter Brown. So I couldn't do no $40 every month for these folks.
Messing with your gas money.
Okay. But I had to start investing and they loved that. So find a series that you can do every week. If you are not an in-the-face camera person, remember you can do point of view. You can just show the house. You don't have to show yourself. You can do guess how many leads I got this week. Guess what I ate today as a real estate agent. Whatever your thing is, how I get ready. If you're into fashion, get ready with me to go work. Do something once a week that's very similar and start incorporating your audience to participate, okay? Any questions on that before I show y'all some examples? All right. Okay, so this is an example of an inspirational reel. And there's several different types of content. You can go back and watch this. This is me literally just putting together my for sale sign, but it tells them why I stopped posting real estate content. I take them through a journey of what happened, what my goal was, blase, blase, blase. And as y'all can see, it got 1,900 plus likes, and I got a bunch of people to DM me and agents who resonated with this. And some of them have turned into potential coaching clients and things like that. So anytime you post something, you want to call to action. And so I would say right here, you know, DM me this word for more info or DM me home or whatever for whatever I'm trying to do. So inspiration can just be a motivational sound and a little bit of your story, okay? I never say anything about buying or selling with me. They can see right here that I'm selling a house. There's no need for me to say that. You have to be very cautious with how salesy you are and more so relate more to your authenticity, okay? The second one is an informational reel. So on my business page, I share lots of tips and tricks for my agents. And so one of the things that has worked is something simple. It was a realtor hack, showing them how I use Google Forms with a voiceover, me putting it together, telling them what the form does, and then I tell them DM me for more info and I will send them the template. Of course, y'all don't have to do that because Ron got the template for y'all and I'll send it to Ron and he'll send it to you. Okay. Another example can be a referral reel. I know a lot of you guys have gotten referrals or in the process of getting them. This right here shows that I had a client that referred me. I show a screenshot of the message where it says, hey, somebody texted me and sent me your info. It's showing me getting ready to go to work. I have a voiceover. I tag the person who sent the referral and I'm letting them know I'm excited to work with them. If you're ready to work with me, DM me this to book a consult. Okay, so that's showing them whether I got a lot of likes or not, these referrals coming in. These people booking with me, you need to book too. And that's actually what I say in the voiceover. Another example are tips and tricks. So you may want to say, here are 3 steps to buying a house, 3 steps to selling a house. You can make it super simple. This whiteboard I use back here, it's the same thing. It's 3 seconds and I say why I love whatever, or come get these tools. And then in the caption, I tell them all the information, okay? Your content doesn't have to be hard. If you like creating longer videos, do a longer video with a voiceover short caption. If you want a short video, do a short video, longer caption. Always have a call to action, what you want them to do when they see the post. If you are posting and you don't know what you want the content to do, don't post it. You create something and you're like, what do I want this to do? Who am I talking to? Don't post it. You need to be figuring out, who are you speaking to? What do you want them to do? And why you want to post this content? Then you post. 5 is a mini vlog. So this was me going to a past client's closing. She bought her house with me, sold her house. So I literally walked them through, come with me to celebrate my seller. I show them what she texts me after closing. I tag her, show my little sold key, DM me home. I will send you my free selling course. Okay. This is just a mini vlog with a reel, and it's showing them the process of what I'm doing and what she says. Gone are the days people going to look at your Google reviews. They don't care sometimes. Okay, so you want to make sure you're getting text messages, and the way you can do that, you can ask them, hey, how do you feel today? Closing just happened. I know you're getting settled, but let me know how you feel. Sometimes you got to prompt the testimonial. You don't just wait for them to text you. Luckily, she did text me because that client, we're very close. And so I knew she was going to text me. I was just waiting on it so I could use it. But sometimes you got to ask them, like, how'd you feel? What was the best part of your, your journey, whatever. And lastly, our photo dumps. Don't sleep on pictures. This is a really good tactic to show people a little bit more about you. So right here, I talk about how I had 4 closings. I coached some new members. We had date night. But as they look through, they're able to see glimpses of me more than just, look at my baby. That's my husband, them my kids. Those my pride and joy. But anywho, I showed them, a little bit about we're doing real estate together. My baby is now walking. Here's where I sat at a closing to work. Here's a coaching client that I just worked with. Here's a Google review that was just posted from a client that just closed, and how they've been working with me for 5 years cleaning my house. They just bought a house through me. They're still there. When people see that too, the longevity of the relationship, they're like, wow, then it's date night, showing a little bit of personal stuff, me in the gym, I had maxed out. And then I also, like I said, I have a few other businesses, and I went to a concert, because one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let them know I'm a real person. Okay. And I went to go see Meg Thee Stallion and Glorilla, and I had the time of my life. All right. And I want them to see that about me. So those are some examples. If you're ready to work with me, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. And now we can just dive into the Q&A time. I know that was a lot. How am I doing on
Maeghan,
time?
you are your energy is obviously affectionate, so I appreciate that.
Thank
I got a lot,
you.
I got a ton of questions, but I want to give that phase and acts. I notice you have 3 different pages. Do you recommend multiple pages, and or would you say it's okay to have one page including both personal and business content?
I love this question because I can be authentically me and tell you, we go back really quick to the pages. Maeghan Jones started as Move with Maeghan. And if I'm being quite honest, I'll pull this up so you can see my bio. I actually have 4 pages. Number 1, Maeghan Jones was Move with Maeghan, and it was primarily just me posting real estate, me as an entrepreneur, me as a real estate agent. It was all things Move with Maeghan. It was my primary lead source. That then grew because I got pregnant and I started sharing my pregnancy journey. I went through this mental block of trying to understand, how can I manage and balance sharing me as a mom and my pregnancy journey and our family with me as just me, because baby, I'm still me. Okay, them kids sometimes will try to take over your identity. You got to take it back. But I have wanted to say, who is just Maeghan? But then also there's business Maeghan. So I created these pages for my own peace of mind to go forth and create content the way I want to. And I also created them because I wanted different things for different pages. So on this page, you will see everything. And if that's you and you identify with multi-passionate things, multi-personal, multi-layered, you may want to separate it. But in the beginning, I had just one and all the things were there. So you will see lots of things on my personal page, mixes of funny stuff, mixes of Jen stuff, my kids. Like I said, I be doing high kicks all the time, Jesus. But then on my business page, it is specifically now for me to target my coaching clients, my real estate agents. So you'll see a lot of that there, which is why I separated it, because I didn't want to flood my personal page with so much business. And then, of course, on my family page for my kids, I'm now able to just share life with my kids and my husband and so that is why I separated the pages. And this one now, we do a lot of brand deals. So a lot of our clients are brands that want us to share stuff for them. Like, my baby is a Gerber baby now. So we work with Gerber, we work with Cabrita, we work with tons of different brands that pay us to post. My main page does the same thing. And then my maximize page is for me to bring in coaching leads. I don't do as many sales on Instagram anymore because a lot of my leads are now past clients and sphere of influence. So I don't have to post as much on real estate to keep that steady. I can focus on other things.
So Maeghan, one of the things that we want the team to focus on is growing their lead generation number. So I have these levels. It's like 1 through 8. It's like your first level is try to get anywhere between, I would say 25 to 49 people raising their hand, either DM something where they're wanting some more information. That's
Mm-hmm.
level 1, and then level 2 is like 50 to 99. I go all the way to level 8. I got either agents who turn to mini teams to big teams, and now they're doing like 800, 900 leads a month, right?
Woo.
What would you say if this was something that they were doing consistently, just starting out the basics,
Mm-hmm.
in doing it consistently, would they generate X amount per month?
So I'm gonna be so honest. Because Instagram took over, everything really converted. There were only a few leads I never converted because of me creating content. But when I started, I would reach out to about 30 to 40 people a day as I was catching up to make sure I contacted every single contact on my phone, on my Instagram, on my Facebook. I would suggest this first month, you break up how much you can do with what you have. Like if you have 500 followers, 100 followers, whatever, break it up so you hit everybody on your account this month. And then you see how many people respond to you, like the message, whatever, so you can see your conversion rate. You're not going to see true conversion until a couple months. I'm not going to sit here and say that the first month I emailed and DM'd everybody that they immediately got back to me. That would be a lie. But my thing is, now I know that if I touch at least 25 people a month, I'm good.
Got it.
Does that
Got it.
answer
So
the question?
basically,
I hope it does.
yes, yes. No, no, no. I like what you're saying, because I just want to just clarify, make sure everybody understand. So as you're growing your followers, you are being social. That's why it's called social media, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not just DMing, just looking for a like. That's not being social. You're
Yeah.
reaching out specifically to a specific number every
Mm-hmm.
single month or week, and
Every
looking at
day.
that as a conversion, right? Saying, hey, who's responding back to me, blah, 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 because I'm being social with that. So
Yeah.
that's how you're
Yeah.
measuring your lead generation from that point. I think that's the
Right.
part that a lot of agents are missing, is they're like putting stuff out. It's like, I'm not getting stuff back. It's like, well, there's a one-way communication. You're not socializing with anyone, right?
Mm-hmm. I
Um
love this.
that-
Somebody, I think, asked a question. I can't see the, let me
when
see.
she hits them up, what is she saying? That's what
I love
Eric
this
and
question. Okay, so it depends on when I'm hitting them up. And I love that you said hit them up. Okay, twin, we locked in. So when somebody messaged me or I message them, first things first is if they follow me, I'm sending them a welcome message. And all I say is, hey, I may do, if y'all follow me, y'all gonna get the message. I'm not a good winker, but follow me and you'll get the template. But anyways, I say, hey, thanks so much for connecting with me. I'm super excited to share my journey as a mompreneur, real estate coach, depending on what page they follow me on. If you have any questions or need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And then I send them my little link to all my stuff. That's it. If I am then going to reach out to people, so for example, this month I have a challenge going on with my membership group. I don't know why I started this, because now I got to be on it with them. But when I do something with my team, I do it with them. And so we're in a 30-day challenge. And every day we having to DM 25 people of our own followers. So I've been trying to figure out what to say. This week, I decided to say, hey guys, you may have noticed a little shift in my content. I'm super excited to get back into my content creation, showcasing my businesses. Is there anything in particular you would like to see this month? And it's basically just me asking them, what content do you enjoy from me? Do y'all want to see Chad? Do y'all want to see funny videos? Do y'all want to see real estate stuff? But that's for my main page. So basically, I'm just asking them what they want to see. Or if they're a new follower, I'm telling them, hello, thanks for connecting with me. Here's who I am. Here are my links. After a certain months go by and I also interact with their stuff, I then just check in. Like there's a girl who just converted to a client for me. I had followed her. She followed me on my business page and she hadn't posted in like a month. I want y'all to know I really get invested with these people because that's how you convert. And I text her or DM'd her and I said, now show me. And I put the little eyes, where you at, girl? Because you ain't posted in a couple weeks. And she was like, not you noticed I was gone. I'm like, yeah, I noticed where you've been, what's going on. And she needed accountability. So she joined my membership coaching group and now she's on the 30-day challenge with us. That would have never happened had I not truly been locked into this as a database and seeing what's going on with them. So sometimes my messages to them are different. Another girl, I messaged her. I was in her city in Baltimore, and I was like, hey, girl, I'm in your city. Let's link up. And she was like, dang, I'm busy, but let me book a call with you because I've been meaning to talk to you. So that's kind of how it goes. An introductory, hey, I'm working on my content revamp. You always working on content, right? That message will never go out of style. You can always be working on your content for the week or for the month. And then just truly knowing what's going on with your potential clients and infusing that in the message.
Well, Maeghan, let me ask you, how could a new agent get their 300 to 500 contacts from their phone to social media? Or what I'm thinking is, you can use the same thing. Somebody had a question?
They do. No, I'm saying because I already got an
Okay,
idea,
I
but
thought somebody had a
where you
question.
going?
Yeah, either moving them to their social media so they can start getting that information, or like I love that you said initially, you're just telling them, hey, I am I'm kind of revamping my presentation. Take a look at my presentation because I just want to see if I'm doing all the right things, blah 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 with a client, and have them looking at that. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that information will have your link to your, not only to your website but all your social media, so that they could probably sign up for that if they're not already on there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So for your contacts, if you're trying to convert your contacts to like your social media, the other reason I like social media is because you can be in their face without always texting them, right? If you're posting on your
Right.
story, you're posting on your page, they can see that you're active and they may go and tap into yours. So you can say something like, hey, I just did a revamp on my Instagram. Tell me what you think. Actually, what's your Instagram name? I'm going to DM you this post I just made and I want your thoughts. So that way you're getting their Instagram, you can go find it, you connect with them. It's not like you're saying, hey, I want you to buy and sell a house with me right now. You're saying, oh my God, I just posted something. Let me send it to you and see what you think. And then you are able to get their Instagram and connect with them like that. Somebody said, do you have an automated system that sends a welcome message when they follow you? No. I am big on, you automate certain things, but you cannot automate real relationships. The reason I like to send individual personalized messages is because I want it to be authentic and real to that person. I literally say their name, or if I don't know their name based on their Instagram, I'm like, hey, so-and-so Instagram, what's your real name? Like, to really let them know this is personal and designated for you and you only. Once they become a lead and they fill out my thing, I have automation set up to follow up and to send automated emails, but they're always in my voice to where it doesn't feel automatic. Also, Instagram will not reward you as much and show your content as much if they see you just not putting your all in. If you're not invested in really doing this as your lead gen bucket and you want to automate it, they're not going to reward you by showing your content and pushing you out more to your ideal client.
So this task, it is not automated or delegated.
This is a
It's
Maeghan
you
Jones
get you get you
in
get
my lane.
MJ like live, right? So I
Yes.
love that. So I know we got 1 minute left, and I want to respect your time, Maeghan, but this has been amazing.
I'm
I
so
think that
glad.
yeah, because I got a lot of stuff out of it too. So you got some accountability on me. I got to get some of my social media stuff going on. But I really appreciate that. We definitely want you back again. Because I'm
Thank
sure you got, you got other things too that you're doing as well too. I definitely want them to hear some other projects that you're working on to help them with lead
you.
generation and also in real estate as well too. So guys, TCRG team, I know that we always bring the best of the best, and Maeghan is definitely. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Any feedback? I'm gonna get one or two feedback. Shay, you've been on, Anissa, you've been on. I just get one or two. Give me your aha moment for the day. I'm gonna go with Shay, and I'm gonna go with Anissa. So Anissa, you first. What's your aha moment?
Ron, it's so many. I like the intake form, the Excel capturing of the data, and actually implement Google Forms for the questions that you have. If they do a quiz, even if anything else you want to know for the month, everything I do as a touch point to have a Google form for intake to get conversions, to have followers, but also to have that connection to make them into clients. So that was a good takeaway for me, and to be able to capture that and use it and leverage. Also, definitely talking about your name and getting your real name. So all that can be a Google form too, because now I'm asking, trying to connect with you. So I'm just looking at all the systems that I could put in place to kind of create my data to go into my Excel spreadsheet and go from there and have me some conversions and some coins and some friends and repeat clients. Thank you, Megan.
You're welcome.
But
I
you know,
love that.
Yep, and Megan, and also this too, like the video, like, you know, like there's some CRMs that can tell how long they watch the video. So if you put like a video in there for them to watch in 2 minutes, so that you can have that you can prep them to get ready. It's like, are they really serious? Or are they not serious? So are they going to waste my time, or are we going to be able to move forward? So Shay, any comments?
Okay, sorry, I had to unmute. Yes, I think it's amazing. It's echoing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, are you inside the office?
Maybe if you mute her computer.
Yeah.
Jayla, can you turn off her computer? Not off, but you want it.
Yeah.
It is muted.
I say you have to mute.
If I mute mine, can he hear me?
Yeah, you're gonna have to mute yours. I'm not gonna be able to hear you because you're in the office with everybody else, and they must have their computers on, so we can't hear you. So I'm sorry about that. That unless everybody in the office mutes theirs.
While they work to figure it out, I just thought of something for Eric and Regina when they asked about an automated message. I do have what's called a shortcut. So I don't always type out the body of the message, and in Instagram, you can go in and make a shortcut. But if Shay has figured it out and wants to come back on and say her thing, I'll wait, but then I will show y'all that before I go, because that has helped me a lot. Yeah,
you can share that real quick.
Okay, so if you go to Instagram, and you go to your messages, you click like the top right button for your messages. When you get in your messages, you act like you're about to, oh, I see Jayla. Jayla, hey girl. Okay, I'm gonna go to Jayla's message. So, and then I'll go back and add her. So say I wanted to go message Jayla. You're gonna press this. Can y'all see the little 3 dots right here? When you press those dots, it's something called save replies. And you can type in a shortcut and you can have it say hi, buy, sell, whatever. So my shortcut is welcome. Once I click welcome, it populates my little welcome message that I'm about to send to Jayla. And then I go in and customize the other stuff. So I may go and take out the there and say, hey, Jayla, with a bunch of A's so she can feel the vibe. Send my little thing. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And then I send her also my link so she can see everything on my page. So that's the way you can do a shortcut on Instagram. So you're not always having to type the same message.
The whole thing, right?
You can go in and send, of course, your video.
Awesome. So Naisha, do you want to wrap up?
It's hard to work on this little Instagram work. I love
so
it. Everybody get them shortcuts.
Today is hunt day. So what we do on Wednesdays is that everybody. Hey Naisha, what's going on?
Good. How are you? Let me get over here so I can be seen. I don't know if I can be seen. Can y'all see me?
I can see you.
I can see you through one of my computers. Oh, where am I at? Yeah. Just go here. You can go about this.
I feel like I need to be in the office with y'all. Y'all got the vibes. I see everybody with their laptops around the table. Okay.
So yeah, today is hunt day, so they're digging into the pond. That is a lead. That is one of their lead sources, because the team leader has a bunch of leads in the pond from old leads from Zillow and stuff like that. So that's the way that they can kind of get customers as well too. But so that's
real quick. Today's actually lead generator die. Next week is hunt. Next week they implement.
Oh, God.
Learning on lead generator die.
Got it. Got it.
Love
Awesome.
that.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, let's wrap up. Maeghan, again, appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and joining us on the team. We definitely will have you back. I appreciate that. And enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much. It was great to chat with y'all. And I wish y'all all the best on your lead day, your hunt day, your lead gen or die, all the things. And I will be seeing y'all around socials.
All right. Take care, Maeghan. Bye.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.